The world watches as two giants, BRICS and NATO, engage in a slow but momentous tug-of-war for global dominance. This struggle is not just about military might or economic power, it is a battle for influence, ideology, and the future direction of global governance. As the world becomes increasingly interconnected, the actions and policies of these two blocs have far-reaching implications for every nation, big or small. BRICS, comprised of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, represents a formidable coalition of emerging economies. These countries, each with their unique strengths and challenges, have come together to form a bloc that seeks to reshape the global economic landscape. Their combined GDP and population make them a significant force in international affairs. These nations are united by their vast populations, abundant resources, and burgeoning economic power. From the bustling markets of India to the resource-rich lands of Russia and Brazil, BRICS countries are leveraging their assets to drive growth and development. The financial hubs of Shanghai and Mumbai are becoming increasingly influential in global finance. On the other side stands NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, a military alliance forged during the Cold War to counter the Soviet Union. With its headquarters in Brussels, NATO has evolved over the decades, adapting to new threats and challenges while maintaining its core mission of collective defense. Led by the United States and its Western allies, NATO has long been the guarantor of global security and the champion of democratic values. The alliance's military capabilities are unmatched, with advanced technology and well-trained forces ready to respond to any threat. NATO's influence extends beyond military might, promoting political stability and democratic governance. The rise of BRICS presents a direct challenge to the established world order. As these nations continue to grow economically, they are also investing heavily in infrastructure and technology, positioning themselves as leaders in innovation and development. The collaborative efforts of BRICS countries are aimed at creating a more balanced and multipolar world. Their growing economic clout translates into increasing geopolitical influence, challenging the traditional dominance of the West. Business meetings in BRICS countries are now attracting global attention, and geopolitical analysts are closely monitoring their moves. The shift in economic power is reshaping international relations and alliances. This shift in power dynamics raises profound questions about the future of global governance. Will the existing institutions like the United Nations and the G20 adapt to accommodate the rising influence of BRICS? Or will new structures emerge? Think tanks and policymakers are grappling with these questions as they seek to understand the implications of this changing landscape. Will a BRICS-led world usher in an era of multipolarity and cooperation, or will it lead to increased competition and conflict? The potential for collaboration is immense, but so are the risks of rivalry. International trade negotiations, peace talks, and diplomatic meetings are all arenas where these dynamics play out, influencing the course of global events. The potential for BRICS to overtake NATO is not merely a hypothetical scenario, it is a distinct possibility with far-reaching consequences. Comparative economic growth charts and global news headlines highlight the rapid rise of BRICS, while think tank discussions delve into the strategic implications. The world is watching closely as this power shift unfolds. Understanding the implications of this potential shift requires a careful examination of various key aspects, from economic and military to geopolitical and technological. Military exercises and high-tech development labs in BRICS countries showcase their growing capabilities, while think tanks analyze data to predict future trends and outcomes. It is within this context that we delve into the potential ramifications of a world where BRICS reigns supreme. The futuristic cityscapes and strategic maps illustrate a vision of a new global order, one where BRICS nations play a central role. As we explore this scenario, we must consider the opportunities and challenges that lie ahead in this evolving geopolitical landscape. Imagine a world where the global economy dances to the tune of BRICS. This isn't just a hypothetical scenario anymore. It's a burgeoning reality that is reshaping the contours of global trade and finance. The BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are no longer just emerging markets. They are formidable economic powerhouses that are redefining the rules of the game. This scenario, once a distant prospect, is inching closer to reality. The economic growth of these nations has been nothing short of meteoric, driven by a combination of vast natural resources, burgeoning middle classes, and strategic geopolitical maneuvers. The BRICS nations are not just growing, they are growing together, creating a synergistic effect that amplifies their individual strengths. The combined economic might of BRICS nations already surpasses that of the G7, signaling a seismic shift in the global balance of power. This isn't just about numbers, it's about influence. The BRICS nations are increasingly setting the agenda in international forums, from climate change to trade regulations, and their collective voice is becoming impossible to ignore. This economic ascendancy translates into unparalleled control over global trade, investment, and financial markets. The BRICS nations are not just participants in the global economy, they are architects of a new economic order. Their influence extends beyond their borders, affecting global supply chains, commodity prices, and even the flow of capital. The rise of BRICS has fueled the growth of South-South trade, diminishing the traditional reliance on Western markets. This shift is not just economic but also cultural, as BRICS nations forge new alliances and partnerships that reflect their shared interests and values. The South-South trade corridor is becoming a vital artery of the global economy, pumping new life into regions that were once marginalized. This shift is evident in the surge of trade agreements between BRICS nations and developing countries. These agreements are not just about trade, they are about building a new economic architecture that is more inclusive and equitable. By focusing on mutual benefits and sustainable development, BRICS nations are setting a new standard for international cooperation. These agreements, often denominated in local currencies rather than the US dollar, further erode the West's economic hegemony. The use of local currencies not only reduces transaction costs, but also insulates BRICS nations from the volatility of global currency markets. This move towards financial independence is a strategic masterstroke that enhances the economic sovereignty of BRICS nations. The BRICS New Development Bank and the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, alternatives to the World Bank and IMF, provide developing nations with much-needed funding for infrastructure and development projects, further cementing BRICS' economic influence. These institutions are not just financial entities, they are instruments of change, designed to address the developmental needs of the Global South in a way that traditional Western institutions have often failed to do. This economic reorientation is not without consequences for the West. As BRICS nations rise, Western economies are grappling with the implications. The traditional centers of economic power are facing unprecedented challenges, from declining market shares to increased competition in sectors they once dominated. The West must now adapt to a new reality where it is no longer the uncontested leader of the global economy. As BRICS nations become the primary drivers of global growth, Western economies face the risk of stagnation and decline. The industrial heartlands of the West are witnessing a slowdown, and the financial districts are no longer the bustling hubs they once were. This shift is forcing Western nations to rethink their economic strategies and find new ways to stay competitive in a rapidly changing world. The once dominant stock markets of New York and London could be overshadowed by their counterparts in Shanghai, Mumbai, and Sao Paulo. These emerging markets are attracting a growing share of global investment, driven by their robust economic performance and promising growth prospects. Investors are increasingly looking to the BRICS nations as the new frontiers of opportunity. This shift in financial gravity would necessitate a recalibration of global investment strategies, with a greater emphasis on emerging markets. The financial world is on the cusp of a transformation, as the BRICS nations continue to rise. This new era of economic dominance by BRICS is not just a trend, it's a fundamental change that will shape the future of global trade and finance for years to come. As BRICS nations ascend the economic ladder, their military capabilities are also rapidly advancing. This growth in military might is driven by a combination of factors, including increased defense spending, technological advancements, and a desire to protect their growing global interests. China, in particular, has emerged as a military powerhouse, challenging the United States' long-held position as the world's sole superpower. The rise of BRICS' military power has significant implications for global security. NATO, once the undisputed guarantor of global order, faces an increasingly complex and unpredictable security environment. The alliance's traditional focus on territorial defense in Europe appears increasingly outdated in a world grappling with transnational threats such as terrorism, cyber warfare, and climate change. The changing geopolitical landscape is also evident in the growing network of alliances and partnerships forged by BRICS nations. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization, for instance, serves as a platform for security cooperation between China, Russia, and several Central Asian countries. This emerging bloc represents a counterweight to NATO's influence, particularly in Eurasia. The battle for global supremacy extends beyond economics and military might. It encompasses the realm of technology and innovation. In today's interconnected world, the ability to innovate and lead in technological advancements is a crucial determinant of a nation's global standing. The BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are acutely aware of this reality and are making concerted efforts to position themselves at the forefront of the technological revolution. BRICS nations are no longer content with being mere consumers of technology. They are striving to become global leaders in research and development. This shift is driven by a recognition that technological self-reliance is essential for sustainable economic growth and national security. By investing heavily in R&D, these countries aim to reduce their dependence on foreign technology and foster homegrown innovations. This ambition is evident in their significant investments in education, scientific research, and technological innovation. Universities and research institutions across BRICS countries are being equipped with state-of-the-art facilities to nurture the next generation of scientists, engineers, and innovators. Scholarships and grants are being provided to encourage students to pursue careers in STEM fields, ensuring a steady pipeline of talent. China, for instance, has made remarkable strides in artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and space exploration. The country's ambitious space program has already achieved significant milestones, including landing a rover on the far side of the moon and launching a space station. In the realm of AI, Chinese companies are developing cutting-edge technologies that are being integrated into various sectors, from healthcare to finance. Its tech giants, such as Huawei and Alibaba, are challenging the dominance of Silicon Valley. These companies are not only leading in innovation, but are also expanding their global footprint, establishing research centers and partnerships around the world. Their success is a testament to China's strategic focus on becoming a global technology leader. Similarly, India is rapidly becoming a global hub for software development and IT services. The country's tech industry is renowned for its expertise in software engineering, and Indian IT firms are providing services to some of the world's largest corporations. Initiatives like Digital India are further accelerating the country's digital transformation, making technology more accessible to its vast population. This technological prowess is not limited to China and India. Other BRICS nations are also making their mark in areas such as renewable energy, biotechnology, and nanotechnology. Brazil is harnessing its abundant natural resources to develop sustainable energy solutions, while Russia is advancing in fields like biotechnology and aerospace. South Africa, on the other hand, is focusing on nanotechnology and other cutting-edge research areas. This technological leapfrog has the potential to reshape the global landscape. As BRICS nations continue to innovate and develop new technologies, they are not only enhancing their own capabilities, but also contributing to global progress. Their advancements are setting new standards and creating opportunities for collaboration and knowledge sharing on a global scale. BRICS nations are leveraging their technological advancements to address domestic challenges such as poverty, inequality, and climate change. By developing and implementing innovative solutions, they are improving the quality of life for their citizens and promoting sustainable development. These efforts are also helping to bridge the digital divide and ensure that the benefits of technology are accessible to all. Moreover, they are exporting their technological know-how to other developing countries, further solidifying their influence. Through technology transfer and capacity-building initiatives, BRICS nations are helping to empower other countries to harness the power of technology for their own development. This collaborative approach is fostering a more inclusive and interconnected global community where technological progress is shared and celebrated.